Just imagine this for a second. You are stranded deep inside hostile territory. You're hurt, you're all alone, and you know an entire country is actively hunting you. That's not a movie plot. That is the very real starting point for one of the most dangerous, most astonishing rescue missions in modern military history. And it's a story most people have never even heard.
It really all kicked off with this one. Simple order. This wasn't just a search, it was a high-stakes race against the clock. On one side, you have an elite US rescue force, and on the other, an entire nation, mobilized to track down just one man. I mean, the stakes just couldn't get me higher.
And this is who they were all looking for. Just one guy. He had no backup, no safe place to run, and he was surrounded by miles and miles of hostile mountains. And that clock was ticking. His survival at this point depended completely on his training, and his will to basically become a ghost.
To really get a grip on the stakes here, you have to appreciate just how dire his situation was. He was injured from the second he landed, his supplies were almost gone, and he wasn't just dodging a few patrols, he was being hunted by an entire country. This was a genuine textbook worst-case scenario.
So how in the world did we get here? Well, this whole incredible story starts with a single event that just splits into two totally different outcomes. One turns into a successful rescue, and the other becomes a full-blown international crisis.
So here's the catalyst. An American F-15E gets hit by Iranian fire. The two crew members, you've got a pilot and a weapons specialist, have only seconds to eject. They both get out, but here's the problem. They land far, far apart from each other, deep behind enemy lines. And right here, their fates just diverged dramatically. The pilot's rescue? It was almost textbook. They located him, picked him up, and got him out of the country in a matter of hours. Clean, fast, successful. But the weapons specialist? He was a ghost. He just vanished into the mountains, hurt, with no way to signal for help. And the crazy part is, the easy rescue of the first guy made finding the second guy that much more urgent.
So this sets up these two parallel stories running at the same time. You have the airmen's desperate fight just to stay alive, and this massive countrywide manhunt to find him before the Americans can.
But here's the thing. This airman was not unprepared. He had been through SIR training. That's survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. It's one of the most brutal programs the military has. They literally hunt you down and break you, psychologically and physically, so that if this moment ever really came, you've already lived through it. Now he was putting all that brutal training to the ultimate test. Now, with the broken ankle, you'd think his instinct would be to find an easy place to hide, but he did the exact opposite. He pushed right through the pain and climbed higher, away from the valleys and the roads where he knew search parties would be looking. He found this tiny little crack in the rocks and just disappeared inside. Meanwhile, Iran took this search to a whole new level. They didn't just use their military, oh no, they went public. They used state media, social media, everything to turn regular citizens into search parties. This American airman was declared a high-value target, making him effectively the most wanted man in the entire country.
So while this massive manhunt is heating up, the US launches a counter-operation that feels like it's straight out of a spy movie. It was this kind of 1-2 punch against information itself. The CIA was busy planting false reports, sending Iranian search parties on wild goose chases. And at the same time, the military was using electronic warfare, jamming local communications to create as much confusion as possible. The goal was simple, just create chaos and buy some time.
Okay, so with this whole deception operation underway, the next phase kicks into gear. America's most elite special operations forces were sent in to pull off an extraction that, honestly, most people would have called absolutely impossible. And then they got the breakthrough they were waiting for. Hiding in that little crevice, the airmen managed to activate a coded beacon. Now, this isn't a simple radio call. It's a short, encrypted burst of data, just coordinates and a special code, designed to be almost impossible to detect. US forces got it, confirmed his identity, and made sure it wasn't some kind of elaborate trap. The rescue was officially a go. And just look at who they sent in. SEAL Team 6. Yeah, the same unit that got Osama bin Laden. That alone should tell you everything you need to know about how serious and how incredibly difficult this mission was. They were sending in the absolute best of the best, because there was zero room for error. So, under the cover of darkness, the SEALs moved in. They found him, they secured him, and they got him to the extraction point. The plan was working perfectly. It really looked like the mission was over, and it was a success. But This is where the story takes an absolutely terrifying turn. This is the moment a flawless rescue mission spiraled into a potential catastrophe, not just for the guy they rescued, but for the rescuers themselves.
Right.
So the whole exit plan, their ticket home, relied on 2 massive C-130 transport planes. But just as the extraction was getting started, in a moment of unbelievable bad luck, both aircraft, both of them, suffered mechanical failures at the same time. They were grounded. The way out was just gone.
Think about this for a second. The mission to rescue one stranded man had just created a much bigger problem. Now, nearly 100 of America's most elite soldiers were stranded right alongside him, deep inside Iran, with the sun about to come up. This was no longer a rescue mission. This was a potential geopolitical disaster waiting to happen.
So US commanders were facing this impossible choice. With their forces totally exposed and vulnerable, they decided to go all in. And what happened next was a final, desperate gamble to get every single person home, no matter the cost.
For 6 incredibly tense hours, those commandos held their position in total radio silence. As they waited, US command scrambled more aircraft, launching them into an Iranian airspace that was now on full alert. The rescue fleet arrived under the threat of being shot down and started pulling everyone out in waves. Before the last man left, they made sure to destroy their disabled planes and equipment, leaving absolutely nothing behind. And finally, they were out.
Now, in the aftermath, 2 completely different stories emerged. Iran claimed this major military victory, saying they'd shot down multiple US aircraft and had foiled the rescue. The US, on the other hand, just stated the facts. The mission was 100% successful, all the aircraft they lost were destroyed by their own forces to prevent capture, and most importantly, both airmen were home safe.
But at the end of the day, the results really speak for themselves. Both American airmen were rescued. Not a single US person was captured. A mission that faced one catastrophic failure after another, somehow, against all odds, succeeded. It's truly one of the most extraordinary rescue operations of our time.
I mean, from the nationwide manhunt to the unbelievable bad luck of 2 planes failing at once and stranding 100 commandos, this story is just filled with these mind-blowing moments. So I'll leave you with this question. What part of this impossible mission shocked you the most?